Imagine a place where no one can stop dancing. The beat shakes everything. Everyone's bouncing. Deep, sweet, hardcore. A place hidden between frequencies, where beats become stories and stories spark movements. Where strangers form crowds and a single beat can cross oceans. Here, producers shape emotions from silence, and DJs carry energy from Baku to the rock. Passion and creativity bring the pulse that connects us all. Meet the minds behind the music, the producers, the DJs, the dreamers, the builders of unforgettable events. Welcome to Season 2 of Beat Zone. Step inside the sound.
To learn how to DJ warm-up, DJ mid-set and DJ peak time. So whenever you have the opportunity to DJ all night long, you have the experience to play from start to finish. And that gives you like your first basis. You can't run before you walk. So you walk, then you jog, then you run.
If I scream at the top of my lungs, will you hear what I don't say if I dance?
I started off listening to drum and bass, bit of dubstep, bit of EDM, so like the Avicii, the David Guetta, the more commercial side of the electronic music scene. And my brother liked drum and bass, so I used to go to Sub Selective when I was 16, 17.
Sub Selective is a very, how long have we been going for? 17 years now. For the first few years we weren't called Sub Selective at all. It started out in Rock on the Rock. They just opened up and it was a conversation I was having with Alan and Man. The perception he had at the time was when you go to a normal nightclub and you've got people playing what's popular at the moment, the charts, DJs. He thought we were all like that. But the more I got to chat with him, the more he became to realize, okay, my band's rock is too heavy for the regular clubs. He's suffering the same thing. I'm gonna let him DJ here because this is the alternative music place. He accommodated for that and it blew up. It grew again. Breakbeat became big again after dying. Well, not dying, never died, but it became big in Gibraltar again. And little did I know, there were still many younger fans. Then Kaylan came along, he joined, Plata joined, and it ended up being a seven members, no, we had? Yeah, 1.7 members.
We were a group of friends who just had the same passion for the same type of music. And we had the opportunity, thanks to Kyle and Alan from Rock and Rock, to promote this style of music.
I think the smaller events are more intimate, so
Yeah, when-
your connection to the crowd is more
I was actually
pure.
going to say that when I brought Charlie Briggs for the International Women's Day, she was like, so what is it like? Is it like small, like hot and scruffy? I'm like, yeah. I said, yeah, I like that. You know what I mean? So some people are more, some DJs are more diva and they prefer like more like a an open.
They want to show up, DJ, and then leave.
Yeah, like not just that. They want something bigger or like a festival sort of thing. Others are like just like us, and they just like the whole the small, more intimate vibe.
I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Losing it.
We all like similar styles of music, but we all touch on different subgenres within house. And so we all bring something a little bit different, but it's kind of consistent as well.
When you're in that club and you hear that one song, which you remember the whole night, that's the reason why I DJ. To play that one song and make the dance floor literally erupt. People are singing, dancing. That's why, that's exactly why I do it.
I think the best thing about our kind of collective is that we just really enjoy what we do, and we have so much fun doing it when we're DJing together. So it doesn't feel like a chore at all. It's just having a good time with mates on the deck. So that's what I really love about it.
Yeah, as a DJ, you're going to get song requests. It's part and parcel of being a DJ. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, and I accept that, and there's no problem with it. What I think is hard, and what people don't understand, being on the other side, is that when they come and request for a song, a lot of the time it's just for them to be able to have a dance with their friends, and not necessarily it's going to be good for the dance floor. Now, at the end of the day, I prefer disappointing a group of 6, 7 or 8 people rather than a group of, let's say, 100 people. Rax and Lima, I think that started around probably 2009, 2010. Influencers such as Avicii, Eric Murillo, Calvin Harris was not as big as he is now, but he was quite well known. And it just sort of like snowballed from there. We just called up by Jonathan Goyado and Justin. They used to run a events organising firm or collective called Fresh Entertainment, I think it was. And they gave us our first chance in December 2010 at one of the local nightclubs. And it just sort of like, it got bigger from there. People sort of like seemed to enjoy what we played, because I think it was more the fact that we used to play a different style of music to what was used to back then. I think back then it was more very sort of like deep house, driven, bit underground style, and we were sort of like a bit of the refreshing style is, again, a lot of vocals, melodies, pianos, very big sounds, and songs and remixes that people knew and liked. And then we had a good spell. We had about 6 or 7 years where we were quite successful, played a lot of big festivals in Gibraltar. We actually had a residency at a nightclub up in Estepona, which was called Plateau 68. We managed to play up there, which was very good. And all the major festival, Electronic Music Festival, we did the Gibraltar Music Festival, Second Stage, supporting a host of very well-known DJs.
But for me, it's that experience from having my speakers to going and having my own little decks which you plug into a laptop.
You will always be my inspiration. No one makes me feel the sensation.
Then getting experience through another organizer of events, and then started my own one, where I was now having full control of when I was playing my sets and then curating lineups to make a bigger impact locally and abroad in London. So that's how it all started, and then since then it's been up and up and up and up. Honestly, I look back at the last 8-9 years of DJing and it's been amazing, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. Even to this day, I still think about that time in my room, just playing on my own, fiddling around, trying to beat match each stuff together. It was just so much fun, of memories of uni and DJing and meeting people and networking and events. All that came to part with Shout and my journey in the electronic scene. The scene was very rich. Even when I was like 16 or 17, I remember going out and there being a lot more for younger people. Whereas now you look at what's available for young people in Gibraltar and there's not really as much available, even big organizers. There doesn't seem that supply and demand that used to be back when then. Maybe it's because we have more competition in Spain, but then it's healthy for the scene globally. But if we're looking at Gibraltar as a specific place, it fluctuates a lot. It's either you get a full sellout of your event or you don't sell any tickets. So it's a very hit and miss. It fluctuates a lot. And nowadays you can be a producer and work just from your laptop on your own using sample kits and stuff. I don't produce on my own, but I know DJs which are worldwide and they produce 95% of their stuff from the laptop and not even in a studio.
So I produce music, but I do it more for myself. And if people like the music I make, then I've been lucky with that, because I haven't intended on anyone else liking the song. Joy I take from producing is me in front of the computer and the process in making the song. That's what I enjoy. If the end result is received well, then good for me. And if it's not, doesn't matter. I still play it in events, and I think that's an important thing. There was a moment where I stopped DJing altogether to concentrate on the production of my tracks, and then I took about a year of a break, and then I realized it's a symbiotic relationship. You need, if you're going to make music, you need an avenue with which to then show the public. Not just put it out on a YouTube video or Spotify, but to hear it from a stage in loudspeakers in a club. It needs both. So I wouldn't ever want to stop DJing, and I would never want to stop production. I think it has to be together. I produce music, but there's other types of production, as we can see as well in this studio right now. So, if producing the event, I would say that's Kaylan's job.
When it comes to events, like Kyle said, I'm the one usually that does produce the events as such, but I always ask all of the members like if they think it's a good idea or not, I mean, to get their opinion on it.
More often than not, I'd say 98% of the time, his ideas are the best ones, and that's why he produces the events. So anything aesthetic, anything to do with sound, the way the stage is presented, it's all Kaylan.
Gotten easier than the very beginning. Now with the years of experience, I know more or less what I want and what I'm doing. I know I have more like easier contacts with the DJs. I know, you know, from experience and all that. So it has gotten easier, but the stress behind doing an event is still the same. You know, you have to cover your costs. You have to make sure that you make those costs back. Obviously, it's also important that you keep the DJs happy. And you know, it's always a stress if something maybe goes wrong on the night or whatever. Luckily, it's never really gone wrong. It's always been an A-OK sort of thing for us.
In an underground scene, underground music, you know, it's already niche. We don't expect to become millionaires out of this. So one of the things that we've done to be able to provide better nights is that the Subselective members never keep any of the money. So we do the event, the money gets pooled and then pooled again and pooled again, and then when we have enough, we bring someone from UK or Spain.
For me, electronic music means energy, melodies. For me, that was born in the 90s, it's sort of bringing me back to that point where that's where the first time I heard electronic music, like 90s, like techno, like lyrics. So it's like a nostalgic vibe for me.
Can we get kinky tonight? Can we get kinky tonight?
And for me, I think it's a bit about escapism as well, because I'm a fan of live music as well. But one thing that I like about electronic music is a guitar will sound like a guitar, and you can change the tone. You can make your bass sound like Fieldy from Korn, or you can there's different tones of guitar, but it always sounds like a guitar. And I think with electronic music, you are unbound. You can take any sound as far as you want. There's some songs that I listen to and I think to myself, if you listen to that song, that sound by itself, you would not choose to make a song out of it, but they did. And I think for me it's escapism because electronic music has more scope. You can tell a wider story with electronic music than you can, whilst at the same time it's for dancing, it moves you. So for me, one rule for me to like any music, whether it's electronic or live, it's got to move me, either move my feet or move my emotions. And I think electronic music has wider capability for doing both those things simultaneously.
I mean, the first event we did was on New Year's Eve. There's usually a day party at My Wines. So that's the first event we played, and that's, I think, for me, it was a realization that our music taste is, like Rahul said, quite similar, but also very different at the same time. And I think from that, we thought it would be a good idea to carry this on, because on that day, it's the busiest day. And even though people go out in the night on New Year's Eve, in the day, it was absolutely rammed. So getting that reaction, getting told from people, oh, we love your music and stuff, that just kind of pushed us to go further and do more events like that. And I would say we are a little bit different from the other DJs, whereas we play more commercial style, but I would say that's because we have to cater towards a big audience at My Wines, because it is one of the busiest days in Gibraltar.
maybe 5-6 years ago, you'd have really packed dance floors, and we had a really good time. I remember some of the Made in Gibraltar, the early Made in Gibraltar festivals that would run, and it would go on until 6-7 in the morning, and even at the end when the drum and bass DJs were playing, there'd still be a good packed crowd. I think about even some of the events going back even further, like in Savannah, the summer festival in Savannah, where just lots of people, really good atmosphere, everyone just dancing, going at it, having a great time. And I think in recent ones that I've been to, you get less of that, and there seems to be a lot of things running. You might have like 3-4 festivals in the summer, or maybe got the numbers wrong here, and each of them just a smaller, less people and less kind of atmosphere.
I feel that it's not a lot of them want to do it because they love the music. I mean, they're not all the same, but I feel that it's some people have got different agendas compared to others, and they don't do it because they really feel it. And I think that's where we are seeing ourselves now at a crossroads of what needs to happen. I think the festival scene right now is dead locally. And recently I've been having conversations with our local DJ. I think that we need to go back to the drawing board in the sense that we need to organise more smaller, intimate gatherings, spark people's interest, come up with something different, even get all the collectives together and come up with some idea or agreement to try and revive the scene.
Why do I DJ? When you DJ and you organize an event and you put everything together and you know the hard work that's put into it in making sure the event goes to plan and everything goes smoothly, and you come onto the decks and you're playing to a full house, like for me that feeling doesn't beat anything. When you're playing to a full room full of people you know, people you don't know, when you get compliments from people who never met you saying, "Oh, great set, mate, this and that, blah, blah, blah." That for me, that feeling of connection between you and the audience and playing tunes that you enjoy beats no other.